This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' three-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.
G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Ads and Dunks podcast. As always, brought to you by the Ausmerican Aces. It's Dunks here, one of your hosts, and joining me on the line, my best mate down in Melbourne. Not sure if it's cold or hot down there. You've got a t-shirt on. How you going, Auntie?
Thanks, mate. Going well. And no, it's been freezing. The mornings and the nights are back. It is absolutely freezing. But in saying that, the middle of the day's been pretty good. So I'm not complaining too much. I've got the heater blaring, so that's why I've got my t-shirt on. But as you know, mate, this is when it's almost winter time and it starts to get cold here. But yeah, everything else is going well, mate. How are you going? How was your weekend?
Pretty quiet. We played Sunday, same as you, obviously, but Tipper's not here at the moment, so I've sort of been with the dogs, and that's really it. I did a bit of coaching on Monday because we had a public holiday on Monday, so day off on Monday for us as well. So a bit of coaching Monday, went for a swim with Kaiser because the VFL played as well on Sunday, so caught up with him, and then that was really it, mate. Didn't do a lot. Just did some lawns and some whippersnippering and all that kind of stuff, all the boring stuff, but stuff I love doing actually. What about you?
I did see that. No, I did see that, and I'm going to get it up here because your beautiful brother Kaiser sent me the video, and I know
of course
that in the background. But if we can focus in there, there's Joshy with his shirt off in Queensland, whippersnipping the backyard, and that is hilarious. He sent that to me, and it's quite funny because I know you would love that video. But does look good. How do you go with the old whippersnipper?
Oh, well, I did a good job, yeah, eventually, but it's a new whippersnipper, so I'm trying to figure it out. So I went and bought one. And I've actually got, speaking of, I've gone away from the fuel. I've just gone with the battery-powered whippersnipper and mower. And, mate, it is unbelievable. I cannot believe how good it is. So I probably should send it to you and make sure you get one because it was, yeah.
So is that like a little, I don't know, like is it a little something you do to, you know, if you get a couple stresses on your mind or whatever it may be, you chuck the headphones in and get the whippersnipper out and lawn mow, or are you only doing it because it's new? And once you get sick of it being new, throw it away and just pay someone to come and do the lawns?
Nah, I do it because I find it therapeutic. I'm the country boy, mate. I wasn't doing my lawns prior to this, but now that Brooke and the team have done it all for us, I've got to make sure that I keep it up to scratch. So I'm working on it.
I know, and your word is good. I'll be the first to admit it because I've seen you. I reckon I got a video of you actually. The last year you were here at the footy club at the Bulldogs when I think we had that bye between the final and we went to the farm for the weekend, and we were what were we doing? We got the axe out and we were smacking those tree log things, and you've got a video of. I've got a video of you doing it shirtless. Do you remember when we were doing it?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, chopping wood.
Is that what we were doing? I don't even remember. But anyway, I've got another video of you doing that with your shirt off. It looks pretty good. I'll make sure to post that so everyone can see it because for what it's worth, we didn't get the oiling on the weekend. I didn't see you with the oiled arm. So, you know, and we do know that you were the one who was nominated because you got the most votes. So maybe this week. I mean, you did do us a big favour on the weekend by doing the A celebration, which we'll touch on a bit later because we're all very pumped. I'm very, very pumped that you did that. But the other promise that you made everyone is the oiling the arms, which you didn't do. So maybe you're gonna have to do it this week.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I actually did forget to put it on. I remember watching your game because I watched. So the way my Sunday went was. Kaiser played in the VFL, so I watched that on TV. Then the girls played netball, and then you played. So I watched the start of your game, and I remember seeing you boys break out and Bonty get one of the trainers over. I think it might have been this, and he got the oil on his arms, and I was like, oh, I've got to do that tonight. And then I just completely forgot about it. So Maybe this week. We'll see how we go.
So you actually you're promising us that you're actually going to do it. You'll eventually put oil on your arms.
Yeah, I'll do it for the pod. Why not?
So when you're getting the oil done, are you going to do it with like a little cheeky smile on your face, or are you going to have that stern look? Because I know what you're like. You're very serious when you're about to play. Obviously, it'll be a minute before the bounce is about to happen. You've got to call the trainers over. You're going to have a little smirk on your face, or you're going to have that stern look whilst getting your arms oiled.
I'll definitely have a bit of a laugh. I'll probably have a bit of a laugh.
See,
but
these
I
are the
will
times.
Have a stern look.
These are the times where I wish I was playing with you so I could roll you up a little bit whilst you're getting your arms oiled because, oh, mate, that'll be funny. And you know what's funny? Hopefully, I'm sure the boys would know because they would have, no doubt they all listen to the potty, but hopefully there's a few that don't know and they look over and they see you getting your arms oiled and they're like, what the heck's going on here? Why is he getting his arms oiled?
They're gonna think they're gonna lose it when they see it. I probably should word a few of them up just so they don't start laughing, take our focus away from the game.
Does just quickly for what it's worth, does anyone in your team actually get oil on their arms?
Nah, not that I know.
Okay. So it's definitely going to be something where they're going to look over and be like, "Wow, he's lost the plot here." But mate.
To be honest, I actually don't even know. I actually don't even know if the trainers have any, so I'm going to have to ask on Sunday.
Well, mate, who are you playing this Sunday again?
Yeah.
Oh, you ripper! That means I'll watch because we're playing Saturday, so all eyes will be on that game, mate. Because we are going to be watching to make sure the oil's on. But other than that, mate, other than the weekend, did you do anything exciting other than that, or you just focus, get ready for the game?
Yeah, not really, because it was a Sunday game, so our week sort of was a bit longer than usual. I did watch a bit of the horse racing on Saturday because I am an ambassador. Tipper and I are ambassadors for the Brisbane Racing Club for the Stradbroke season, so I watched a bit of that on Saturday. But other than that, mate, not really. No. What about you?
You both look great, by the way, in those photos. Tipper looks stunning. You look great, except one of the photos with the hat when you get the hat on is it's probably the first time a hat doesn't suit you. But instead of being a 10 out of 10, you go to a 9 out of 10. But Tipper's definitely a 10 out of 10. But no, mate, I did the exact same because we obviously played on the Sunday. So what did I do? Kim was down, so Kim obviously played in. They played in Melbourne. Unfortunately, didn't win. For our netball fans who listen to the potty, it was I didn't get to see any of the game, but apparently it wasn't it was just a tough loss. But I got to see Kim on the Saturday. Hung out with her, kind of killed time because you know what it's like when you play on a Sunday. Like everything, all your freedom is kind of based around making sure you're feeling good for the game. So yeah, mate, I didn't do much. Watched the races. Actually, went up the road to the local footy, which is about 150 metres up the road, and watched a bit of local footy. It was, I think it was Hampton Rovers versus Lindale. It was a whopping 170-20. It was a close game, 150-point loss to Lindale, but I know it wasn't a good game. But I love watching local footy. I love getting out and just watching it. It's something that when I eventually retire, it'll be something that I look forward to a lot because being able to play with your mates, but just the feel of all the fans, like the reserve, I think the reserve Lindale boys were all behind one of the goals and their team was obviously getting smashed, but they were still celebrating. Like if they kicked the goal, they're all on the beers celebrating, screaming, yelling. So that was probably the most excitement I got, mate. Other than that, I didn't do much. I just got ready for my game. That was pretty much it, mate. I didn't do anything.
Speaking of local footy, did you see that massive score? Like that Fitzroy Lions score?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 500 or I can't remember what it was. I'm trying to find it right now as we speak.
I did. I forgot what it was, but it was 0 to 518 or something.
Yeah, one bloke kicked 28 goals or something.
It's ridiculous. Mate, speaking of that, I actually seen this, you know, that Premier Data app, right? Listen to this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you were talking about this last week. Yep.
Yeah, so the Sandhurst Footy Club, they won by 333 points, right? So they beat Maryborough by 333. And it has some of the games of some of these boys. So there's a guy that Nicholas Stagg had 31 and kicked 5. Then Fergus Green, you played with Ferg, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Plays there, had 24 and kicked 9. Then Lockie, there's a guy, Lockie Wright, had 30 and 12 goals. Then
Oh, wow.
there's a player, Noah Walsh. This is all in the same team, right? 43 and kick 7. And then there's Lockie Tardrew. Sorry. He played at Collingwood, actually. He was Collingwood captain, one of the VFL that is. He had 57 and kick 4 and had 283 ranking points. How's that for a day out?
Not just one person either, like the whole team.
I was almost going to give the Sandhurst Footy Club my bloom of the week because that is just incredible, mate. These stats are ridiculous. If you want to have a look, go on the Premier Data and have a look. But that it makes me think. You know how now, right? So obviously I know what you're like. You know what I like. We obviously never look at stats post game or anything. Individually, that is. When you go and play local footy, will that change? Will you go out there just try and kick, 10 goals or whatever it is, try and have as much of the pill as you can, just for shits and gigs more so than anything?
I probably wouldn't be trying to get heaps of the pill, but I'd be definitely trying to kick 10. I've never kicked 10 before, so I'd be definitely trying to.
Mate, I would be the exact same. I'm playing full forward, and if I need a spell, I'll go on the guts for a bit, and then I'm going back to full forward. What is the most goals you kicked in a game, for what it's worth, in any form of footy?
AFL is 3. Any form. I think one day I kicked 6 in the under 14s, I think.
Really? So not even you never, as a junior, just had an absolute field day, kicked an absolute bag.
Nah, never.
Well, I didn't.
What about you?
No. Mine's actually, my most is 9. I've kicked 9, I think 3 times. I kicked 9-7 once against Beaky, I remember. But in terms of other players at our club, I know Charlie Clark's kicked, I think he said he kicked 15 once. A couple of boys back in the country leagues kicked over 10. So, mate, when I retire and go play local footy, that is something I'm going to be trying to do, which would be fun. Other than talking a bit of smack, we may as well get onto our games. You want to start with yours or mine first?
We'll start with yours because you were first. But firstly, I just want to ask about this bling that you've brought out. I know you've been wearing the necklace for a while. Yeah, show us the bling. Looks cool.
I've had it for ages. So it's I was obviously baptised. Kim and Georgie and I were baptised. You were there. You were obviously you played the role of Ray, who's the godfather of Georgie, but you're essentially the godfather as well because you pretty much did everything. And yeah, mate, it's just a necklace that I'm proud of wearing, mate. I'm a child of God, so wear this around everywhere. And it's you actually haven't seen it, have you? Is this the first time you've seen it?
Oh, it's the first time I noticed it because it was out before we started the potty. So
right,
I just thought I'd ask.
Nah, mate, I wear this religiously, no pun intended, but I'll wear it. I wear it everywhere, so it's nice. But thanks for observing, mate. You got any bling on you?
Nah, mate, just my magnets that I wear on my wrist.
I got that too.
You got yours on?
I'm not wearing it right now. It's in my bag.
Oh,
I wear it all the time.
You dog.
No, I wear it all the time. I love how we're delaying a little bit of the footy talk because one of us had a great weekend and the other one didn't. I guess
get into it, mate.
My game. Yeah. So obviously we played on the Sunday prior to your game. Obviously we didn't play well. We didn't play to the level that we wanted to. As you could imagine, mate, the heat's been on us quite a bit this last couple days since the game. I think that's the only thing anyone's talking about here in Melbourne at the moment. Which obviously isn't ideal. But, yeah, the game itself, very frustrating. Obviously, I'll never discredit a team and how they played. So full credit to Hawthorn and how they went about it. They'd obviously had they beat Northcote weeks ago and then, we're really challenged against Sydney. So we were fully expecting them to come out and really be strong in the contest. They're a very good contested ball side, regardless of, whether they've been winning or not. And as you know, they're a very good contested ball side. They win a lot of contested ball. They've got some great midfielders in there. And I think Will Day, that might have been his second game back, and he's a real classy, absolute star of the competition, in my opinion. So he adds a lot of class to their midfield group. But, yeah, they from a contested point of view, beat us a bit. But I think what was probably the most disappointing for us in the way that we lost is, I guess, our turnovers and where we turn the ball over. I think they kicked 8 goals 4 maybe from our direct turnovers, where we only kicked 1 goal from, I think, their turnovers. So losing by 7 points, that's clearly how we lost. So, looking at that from afar, you look at how we were trying to move the ball, and I think we just probably went for kicks that weren't there, and then at times went for kicks that were there, and we just didn't execute, which is, probably the most frustrating thing. And, and it was a mix of the young guys and senior players who, were guilty of missing those kicks or handballs, and I was guilty of missing a couple hands. So, very, very disappointing, mate. The players wear it a lot. The players are the ones who are going out there week in, week out, and we're definitely hurting after that game because we know we let ourselves down quite a bit, and it's a game that we shouldn't have let slip considering how well we started. We started really well. We kicked the first 3 goals of the game, almost kicked the first 4, but the 1 goal was disallowed. So, to ultimately come away losing was very frustrating. We've had a pretty good week the first couple of days post the game. We've really got together and had a really good chat, and we've got the beauty of footy is there's always next week, and for us this week it's a 6-day break, so we've got to move on pretty quickly and come up against a team that's going to do the exact same thing that Hawthorn did. So mate, that's pretty much the quick spill on it. No doubt you got a couple of questions for me though.
No, you summed it up pretty well. 2 things. I watched the start of the game, and I felt like you boys started really well, and that 4th goal was actually your goal. I thought that was a shoe-in to be a goal. Like, I can't believe that got turned around. I don't know how.
Well, it's a bit weird because it got paid a mark when I would have thought, if anything, it's paid a point. But it got paid a mark. Yeah, a bit weird.
Got paid a mark.
I kept looking up the score because it should have been either 4 goals straight or 3 goals won, and it just stayed 3 goals straight on the scoreboard at the ground. So I was like, I got paid a mark anyway. Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing because I was actually thinking the A celebration if I kicked it.
I thought you might have been. I was sitting on the couch before I was about to go play, and I was just getting up and about. I was like, yes, here we go. But no, you must. Yeah, I mean, the boys would be disappointed, and I know you've spoken about how all the pressure that comes on Bevo at the moment, and how it's more to do with players. And I talked about it last week with Fags, media and everyone they always come for the coach. And always. I know as players, it's disappointing that happens, but you feel like you're letting your coach down in terms of how you're going out there and playing. Is that something you boys talk about, running out there and actually playing for Bevo and to try and, obviously get the pressure off him, but also help you guys move forward?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely something. Or we don't talk about that directly. We don't obviously mention that, but it's in the back of our minds in terms of, it'd be nice to get a bit of pressure off not just Bevo, but the footy club itself, because ultimately the 22 blokes that run out there are the ones that are playing. So they're the ones who can control it. So it's always in the back of their mind. We had a player sponsor dinner last night. Coincidentally, it obviously fell this week, and it was a great night, a wonderful night for the footy club. I love my own sponsors. I've got some beautiful people that sponsor me who I love. So it was a great night. And Bainesy gets up there and chats, and it's great that we can include the fans, and no doubt they had questions for us, and they did. And they heard as much as the coaches. They heard as much as us. And when we talk to them, we start to probably realise more so, how much these fans and people love our footy club, and how much the result of the weekend kind of dictates their moods throughout the week and whatnot. So it gives you that little bit of extra motivation coming off a night like that. So I guess to answer your question, it is always in the back of your mind. And I think that's what my mind individually goes to once the game's over, once we've let the dust settle, over the space of an hour or 2 hours post-game. You think about the game, but then you think about there's going to be more pressure for the coaches. There's more pressure on, senior players. There's more, more not hate, but more expectation coming from the fans and whatnot. And it's rightfully so. It's warranted, because the group that we have, we're so much more capable of what we're producing. And the beauty of our group, and I've said it to you before, and obviously said on the potty, that the beauty of our group is, whether we're winning or losing, it doesn't change the boys' mindset when they come in. We have a great group who wants to get in and learn. We get in early. We watch tape. We train really hard. You come and watch our training sessions, and you'll see we train really hard. and there's an expectation on us to perform, and we generally perform better, after a week like we've had. It's just probably being able to deliver that consistency. So, starting this week with Richmond, our schedule doesn't get any easier. I mean, we've got a really tough run of games from Richmond onwards. The next 5-6 games are really tough for us. So it's going to be great to see where we're at. And I genuinely feel like, with the capabilities of the group and the mindset of the boys and the week that we've had, like I hold full confidence that we can, hopefully bounce back and at the end of the day, just play a really good brand of footy that we can make ourselves proud of, make our coaches proud of, and make our, most importantly, fans proud of. And hopefully that can start this week against Richmond.
Yep, good answer. Do you have internally having any conversations as to how you can be more consistent at all?
Well, yeah, I think what is you find a lot is with young, inexperienced sides, and I'm not saying that's what we are. I'm more using it as an example. You find that probably effort and maybe how you're defending is probably, what makes those young sides, fall unstuck really in a way, and probably why they're losing. Where a lot of, I can against Freo, for instance, and against Hawthorn on the weekend, a lot of. I feel like a lot of the reason why we lost the game was the way we were trying to use the ball and how we turned the ball over. So we were probably more in control of the result rather than, they just beat us because they just kicked the ball through us, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I feel like in terms of consistency, it's always looking at where we could probably use the ball a lot better, how we can be better. And, the ways we do that is by watching vision and talking to each other. And I think that's a big thing. I think being able to, talk to the guy who potentially is in the clip with the ball in hand and, survey his options and, say maybe he could have done this, maybe he could have done that. And I think that's what will help with the consistency out on the ground. I think one other thing as well that will help us is being able to spread the load a little bit better. And I've touched on this before and you have as well with obviously your boys, but I think you find the clubs that are really, really good and successful. I mean, you look at Sydney as a perfect example. They, yes, Isaac Heaney's probably leading the Brownlow, but they've had a pretty even spread of great contributors across the field. And I think at the moment we're kind of fluctuating a little bit with that. We rely on too few to get the job done. I mean, in the last quarter, if we were to win the game, we probably would have. It would have been solely off the back of how Bont started the last quarter. And we can't just rely on Bont to get the job done for us week in, week out, because there'll be a time when he's not there and it's got to be the next person in line. So I think about being able to find that consistency of all the players being able to perform at a level where, it's playing to the role, but playing to the best of their ability, which then helps the team. So I know it's a bit of a long answer and it's hard to put that into words, but that's kind of what we're looking at week in, week out. And I definitely feel like we've got the guys that can do it.
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And it was only a week ago, I was probably in the same position as you talking about, after a bad loss and the conversations you have, it's just week to week how things change. And you just got to keep that growth mindset and continue to go to work and know that things will turn around soon. So wish you boys all the best. Obviously, we come up against you in about a month's time, so not all the best that weekend, but all the best this weekend.
I appreciate it, mate. But one other quickly thing I want to say, I think a lot of motivation that I get from as well and what I look at as extra motivation is like teams have been in this position before in the last couple of years and then found a bit of momentum and form and just really springboarded their season. I mean, the reality is it's round 9. I don't know off the top of my head, and I know Brado probably at the end can answer this, but I reckon Carlton would have been maybe 3-5 this time last year. I reckon Sydney and the Giants, I think the Giants were maybe 3-5. I think Sydney might have been maybe 4-4 or whatever. I think they weren't going as well as they were come the pointy end of the season. And to me, that that motivates me. I mean, it makes me think of the group that we've got. And as I said, I think we're more than capable of playing really good footy. And when we do, we play a tough brand of footy that is hard to stop. So, I'll keep holding on to that extra motivation. And hopefully, as you said, mate, it can kickstart this week. But enough of us, unless you got any more questions for me.
Nah, mate, all good.
Well, we'll move on to yours. It was great because I was able to watch. Kim and I got home and we watched pretty much the whole game from the second quarter onwards. And firstly, couldn't believe Logan Morris. He played a whole game and in the VFL and had some maccas and really pigged out, and then had to play pretty much a full game in the AFL. So congratulations to Logan. He's a vivid boy for what it's worth. So he's one of the players that I look out for, and same manager as us. So well done, Logan. But your game, obviously, it was really built up for probably the biggest Q clash in the probably history of the AFL for that game itself. From a spectacle point of view, probably didn't live up to the expectation. I feel like you guys were pretty dominant from what I've seen, and I no doubt you were pleasing from it. And you individually played an unbelievable game. Me personally would have given you the 5 votes, or if it was 5, for the best on ground in the Marcus Ashworth medal. How did you feel? How did you feel coming away from the game? No doubt you would have been pumped from the week before.
Yeah, it was we went into the game with a lot of things that we wanted to focus on, and coming out of the week before, it was disappointing. Like I said last week, some of the effort stuff and the pressure around the footy, and even just getting back to help out our defenders and whatnot. So there was a lot of things that we wanted to improve, and but we went in with a clear mind. Obviously, you work on all that stuff throughout the week, and then you implement it on game day. So you're not thinking about it as much as what you are throughout the week. So I felt like we went into it really clear and knew what we wanted to do and what we wanted to achieve, and we were able to do that. And it started at the source. We had some plans in there, obviously with Rowley and trying to negate him and his impact, first possession and contested ball wise. So I felt like we were able to do that really well, and then that obviously helped us gain territory and keep it in our forward half, and we managed to kick our way through them a lot. So it worked out well for us, and we probably didn't get the bang for buck in the third quarter. Again, just inaccuracy. I had one of them that I missed. I think we kicked 9 points and they kicked 2-1. So we could have had another big quarter there where we, potentially put them away, but kept them in the game a little bit and had to finish it off late. But although it was a really pleasing night, it was one of the toughest games I've ever played because we lost a couple of our boys early, and in Link McCarthy and Darcy Gardner and Noah Ransworth as well to concussion. And I played the whole last half, didn't come off at all in the last half. So there was a lot of boys in that boat too. So it was a crazy night. I've never seen anything like it. And heart goes out to Link and Diz for doing their ACLs. And we're just going to support them through it. But it was a great win for the footy club, and we look forward to hopefully continuing the momentum now and into this week against the Crows. Yeah,
it definitely looked like one of the games where you probably walk off the most proudest, considering the amount of injuries you copped. I think you had someone go down in the warm-up as well, didn't you? Starcevic went down in the warm-up.
Stas did his calf. Yep.
Yes. So to say you had adversity is an understatement. That is adversity from the get-go. And the fact that you were able to win in the way that you won, it was just really impressive. And it's the Brisbane that we've come to know. And it was a joy to watch. And Kim and I were jumping out of the bed when we were watching you kick that goal, because we seen your first shot on goal. And obviously you're probably 25 metres out, and we're like, he'll kick this. And we were just ready for the A celebration, and it went to the right a bit. And I was like, oh, come on. And then obviously you kicked the second one, which was unbelievable. But it must be one of those wins where you walk off and probably feel the most proudest you would have felt in a long time, considering the adversity that you faced from not only the injuries during the game, but the start of the game, really.
Yeah, for sure. And we just literally talked about it, but I was really happy for Fags, someone that's been, and you just talked about Bevo being, everyone giving it to him in the media and whatnot. Like Fags copped it last week for a big chunk of the week, and like you said, you think about it post game, and I was just so relieved and happy that we could get the job done for him, for his sake, because he's such a great coach. And I said this last week, but he rallies us together and gets us to play good footy. Some of the best footy we've played this year has been all because of him. So it's incredible to, ride the wave of emotion throughout the season, but those wins are really important, not only to the players, but to Fags and to our fans and to everyone involved in the footy club. So it was a great win, probably one that I'll never forget, to be honest.
No, well done, mate. Well said. As I said, it was a joy to watch. Do you think you're a little bit stiff not to win the Marcus Ashworth medal? Because Dane Zorko was unreal. I think he had the most kicks in this century, maybe. I think he might have equaled the record or had the most kicks in this century. Yeah, like 35 kicks or whatever it was. And even me at home, I was like, come on, get him one more kick. But I don't think he got it. But did you think at all, maybe I'm a chance to win the Marcus Ashcroft medal here?
I did think I was potentially a chance when I kicked that goal because I'd kicked a goal and, I hadn't kicked a goal for a while. So I thought maybe that, at the end of the game, I thought I might be a stiff, but I don't think I was never like, I should win this. I think it was always going to be Zorks. Zorks was outstanding. And so was our midfield. Lockie Neal was back to his best and dominated around the source, and guys like Huey and Harris Andrews was another one down back for us. It was really good. So there was a lot of even contribution, which is what we look for every week and what we need to get up against teams like that.
Yep. One more. How do you now, a bit like us, you asked us the same question, or me the same question, how do you now find that consistency and, play like that week in, week out? Because you've got a really tough game this week against the Crows over there in Adelaide, who have found some form and are playing really good footy now.
Yeah, 100%. This is a massive game for us. And last week was obviously built up to be the Q clash. And this week we're going down south to Adelaide and playing against them on their home deck in good form. So, yeah, it's a massive game. I think for us internally, that the conversation's just been around, keeping it very simple. Like, everyone needs to bring their own thing, and you just need to go out there and focus on your role and what your role entails, and doing that. If we all do that, then more likely than not, we will go well. If we don't and we go away from it, and there's little things that happen out there on the field that aren't up to standard or whatnot, like you talked about turnovers, like if that happens in a hostile environment, then it'll just, snowball, and then it's hard to get those ones back. So we're going to have to be at our very best on Sunday night or afternoon against the Crows, because they're flying.
They are. They're going very well. But we'll look forward to it, mate. We'll preview that game a little bit later when we preview our games. Anything from the round of footy that you want to talk about? Anything exciting? Any controversial stuff happened? You usually got something for me?
Not really. I didn't really want to talk about this, but the day of the game, I saw a thing that David King did on, I think it was with Lee Montagna on Fox Footy. Like, it popped up on my Instagram, and it was about how he reckoned that we would get smacked by Gold Coast. And I was going to say that it gave me heaps. Yeah, it gave me so much motivation. I ran out there and I was just singing, I'm going to prove him wrong. So that was I was so angry at the time when I watched it. I was like, oh, geez, I just really want to beat these guys and make sure.
Oh, well, thanks, King.
He's not right.
Thanks for the extra motivation. That's great, mate. There's a amount of stuff that pops. I can only imagine what's popping up this week about us. That's nice. That's good. Yeah, maybe that's what we need. We need to see that on game day. I'll send it out in the group chat to the Bulldogs boys and
send it.
That'll be funny as. But no, I don't think there was really much to talk about other than I think this Carlton Collingwood game could go down as one of the best games of the year. That was a ripping game. Nick Daicos, I mean, it's funny because it blows my mind that he has so many haters. Like, he has a lot of haters, man. And to me, it's clearly unfair. They look at the stuff that he doesn't do well, which is not much. Like, probably nothing really doesn't do well. And when he comes out and plays a game like he did on the weekend, where he was head and shoulders the best player on the ground and won Collingwood the game, love when that happens. I love when players really stick it up, people who doubt him.
Yep. Nah, me too. What about the goal that he did kick late? What are your thoughts on, because there's been a bit of a debate on, whether it was Sam Walsh on him? Was it Sam Walsh on him?
Walshy.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on how that played out? Have you looked at it?
Oh, I haven't looked at it closely. I did see that he was on him and then kind of, but it's hard because for me, right? What are you thinking? If you're a Carlton player, are you thinking, because it's a draw, remember? Are you thinking, I need to be offensive here or I need to stop them from scoring? Like, what's going through your mind? I'm genuinely asking you, like, what would be going through your mind?
Nah, if it's a draw, I'm trying to win the game.
I'm the exact same. I mean, Don't know what Carlton teed up. I don't know if Walshy was the go-to or whatever it may be, because I kind of know what you mean. I know the question is indirectly you're asking me, should Walshy have been closer to Daicos? Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
but he needs
I'm not
they need to get on the fly.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he should have been there. I feel like the way the pattern that he ran and he followed him and then let him go because he thought Chera was going to win the ball, or I think it was Chera at that sweeper position.
Yeah,
like if say Chera wins that ball and then Walsh gets out and he kicks it to someone and then Carlton go up and score, do people then question Nick Daicos's offensive run?
Yeah.
The other way. What do you think?
Well, yeah, 100% they would. That's what I'm saying, though. That's where a lot of the hate comes from for a kid who's in his third year, who's top 5 player in the competition. Like, it's just ludicrous. I love seeing players and teams like who cop it, then come out and, dominate or win a game or whatever. It's a bit like Carlton last year. Remember how Carlton were copping it?
Yep.
And you and I backed the Blues on the potty, and they go out and, almost make a granny. Like, I love seeing it. So, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I think they do. But, mate, what an incredible finish. I mean, even just to finish it in the last minute of the game, that's incredible. I'll tell you what I do want to say. Did you see who was it? Was it Kane Corns who was questioning Harley Reid?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, but I think that's how much we rate Harley Reid, and I rate him very highly. I've spoken about already now on the potty about how good he's in my opinion, he has the potential to be a generational player where he's, going to be a superstar of the comp. He has all the traits. But obviously he was cramping. I don't know if you've seen the vision, but he was cramping as he was trying to. Yeah, he was cramping, mate, trying to chase an Essendon player, and obviously couldn't get him. But I kind of just felt sorry for him. I was like, mate, I've been in that position, and there's nothing worse when you're directly involved and you've got to run and you literally cannot run.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in.
It is. It actually makes me lead into this question. Who would you rather, Harley Reid or Nick Daicos? Because the question has been proposed. I've seen it going around on socials right now. Okay, I'm asking you, who would you take, Harley Reid or Nick Daicos? You're
to play.
You're building it. Yep, you're the general manager of the Yarram. I don't know, Yarram, whatever their nickname is. They're going into the AFL.
Demons.
Yarram Demons. There you go. You can pick whoever you want, but you have to choose between Harley Reid and Nick Daicos. Who are you choosing?
Am I playing in this team? Because I think it might change my opinion. Because
I'm going to say
I feel like
no.
Okay.
Because I know where you're going. I know where you're going with that, because you're going to be like, oh, well, Daicos, I can just give the ball to Nick Daicos. So, no, you're not in this team. You have to build a team, and you've got to choose between those two.
I'm probably taking Daicos because I feel like he's done a lot more already than what Harley Reid has. Mind you, I agree with you. Harley Reid's going to be a generational player, but I just think Nick Daicos, the body of work that he's done already in such a short space of time, no one will ever beat that.
Oh, no. It'll take a special player to beat that. It's a hard one. And I think because you've said Nick Daicos, I'm going to say Harley Reid. Just to be different to you. But, mate, it is a tough question to answer because they're both superstars in their own right. And in fairness, Nick Daicos has obviously been a star for 3 years now. Yeah, but other than that, there wasn't really anything that happened that really caught my eye on the weekend. I mean, the Melbourne game was I don't know if you watched that game, but that was a big win. I mean, Geelong were undefeated, and they came right at the very end, and Bailey Fritz kicked that goal towards the end. Was incredible.
Yeah, I want to check the tips this week because I reckon I was pretty good. Did anyone get the best on ground? Did anyone?
No.
Yeah.
No, I said Brodie Grundy and Errol Goulden got it. I'm not sure who you said. You said Toby Green. That's right.
I said Toby Green.
I think I tipped Port Adelaide and said Charlie Dixon. You said Adelaide.
We'll get Brado to tell us at the end.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, there wasn't really much to talk about from the weekend, but we'll move in this weekend's games if you want to. If you've got nothing for me,
Yep, let's do it.
Okay,
No,
ripping round. It is a really good round. Looking at these games, mate. Wow, so we start tomorrow. Carlton, Melbourne, MCG. Who are you picking?
I'm picking Melbourne.
All right. Well, I'm going to go Carlton because you're going Melbourne, but I think it's going to be a ripping. Are going to be close. I mean, it could be. You know what? You know what? For this has to be worth something. I'm going to say a draw. Oh, I'm going to say a draw, and surely that's worth it. Maybe extra two points on the tipping.
Yeah, I'll give you 3. Yeah,
done. Draw. Friday night, 2 games actually, which is a bit weird. Yeah, 2 games. Geelong, Port Adelaide, GMHBA.
Geelong.
That's a great game too. Port Adelaide will be no Connor Rosie. I'm going to say Geelong as well. Optus Stadium, Freo, Sydney. This will be a really good game. Freo, Sydney.
This is a good game. Who do I think? Oh, man. I feel like the Swans are going really well at the moment. So, and they play well over there. I've seen them play well over there. So I'm going to tip Sydney.
Okay, I'm going Freo because you're saying Sydney. But I think it'll be, for what it's worth, actually, can you give me your top 3 power rankings? So for your teams at the moment, give us your top 3.
Sydney, GWS, and Geelong.
I'm going to go Geelong, Sydney, GWS. So same, but different order. And that is actually that's not to be different to you. You think it is, but it's not. Saturday Arvo games, okay? Saturday. Hawthorn St Kilda at UTAS Stadium down in Tasmania.
Hawthorn St Kilda. I think the Hawks.
Okay, I'm going St Kilda. Marvel Stadium, Essendon Giants.
Giants for me.
I'm going to go GWS. I'll agree with you. Then it's our game. I'll touch on that after we get past these games. Gold Coast, North Melbourne, TIO Stadium.
Gold Coast.
I agree with you. Gold Coast. Then on the Sunday, your game, obviously. The other game is Marvel Stadium, Collingwood versus West Coast.
Collingwood.
I'm going to say Collingwood too. I mean, I want to be different, but I'm not going to. And then there's our games, mate. My game is first, Richmond and the Bulldogs. Who are you tipping firstly?
I'm tipping the Bulldogs by a hefty margin.
Well, hopefully that's the case. So we're playing on 7:30 on the Saturday night at the MCG, which I cannot wait. We don't get many games there. This is our second game there. And I don't think we get another game. We might get one more, but no doubt Brady will know. But it's going to be, it's been a really good build-up so far. We've got main training tomorrow, so we'll put into practice what we want to work on from the last couple of weekends' games. But yeah, mate, we've we're really building this game up. We want to go out there and just play the way that we know that we're capable of, play with a freedom where, we just play to our strengths, play our brand of footy. Richmond will come out with an intent. They'll be good around the ball as they always are. No doubt they'll take it up to us. And, I know their record. What is their record? They are what are they? They've won 2 games. I feel like they've played better than what their record says watching their games. I mean, in my opinion, they're a lot better on the weekend than what their actual result was, watching a bit of their vision. So, like any team, man, can't take any team lightly, no matter who it is and where they are on the ladder. So, they're going to want to come out and beat us up around the ball. So, really looking forward to the game. Can't wait to see what the boys can deliver because it has been a challenging couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle inside there. Obviously, Libba's out too, which we should send our regards to him because thinking of him with all the concussion stuff that's going on and he's been stiff to copping a couple of knocks in the last couple of weeks. So hope he's okay. You probably know more than what we do, but heart goes out to Libba and hope he gets better soon.
Yep. No, we love Libba. He knows that. But yeah, he's okay. We were off site yesterday, so we went to the sea bar, so he was there and a lot better than what he was obviously the past 48 hours. So as you said, heart heart goes to him. He'll seek the advice that he needs from obviously the pros and be back hopefully sooner rather than later. And hopefully we've got some wins on the board by the time he gets back, but he will be missed. But yeah, love him very much.
Same here. Our game. So yeah, like we talked about, going to Adelaide on Saturday for a Sunday afternoon time slot. But yeah, it's going to be a cracking game, as we talked about earlier. They're in good form and coming off a showdown win against Port, and we're very impressive in that game. I watched most of it and thought that they were, they look completely different to what they were looking earlier on in the season, and no doubt that's impressed a lot of people. So we're going to have to beat our best. They've got some great players across the board. For me, like Jordan Dawson and the regulars like Tex Walkers and, all these regulars, Crouch and Laird, and they're all playing good footy. But Saligo, who won the showdown medal, he's playing some ripping footy at the moment. So going to be one that we're going to have to look out for as well.
Yes, it is. It's probably, I think the elephant in the room, if you want to call it, is, I think about you boys and playing. You play anywhere well, but I think South Australia is probably has been a challenge for you guys. Well, since you've been there, really, is that something you look to, like want to build off and really get a win over there because you know how hard it is to win over there?
Yeah, for sure. It's something that, it's like, it was kind of like Melbourne. Like, you want to travel well. As an interstate team, you want to really travel well. So we look at ways to improve how we travel and how it makes us feel and all the things, all the factors that come into it. Like I talked about earlier on in the season, we went to Adelaide, then we had to come back here, then go to Melbourne to play on a 6-day turnaround. So like that kind of thing, you've got to be so efficient with what you do to produce or have your best energy out there on game day. So for us, it's all about that. And last time we played there against them, we just didn't kick straight. So we played a pretty decent game. We just didn't kick straight. So they beat us by a couple of goals, I think it was last year, but still have a lot of confidence going down there, and probably won't talk about losing there the last year or a couple of times against Port and Adelaide. But I think if we bring our best footy, we'll definitely challenge them, and hopefully that's the case.
Hope so, mate, for your sake. I'll be watching. Can't wait. Hopefully you get a couple more snags, but most importantly, the oil on the arms. Cannot wait to see that. Rain, hail or shine, the oil on the arms. Cannot wait. Other than anything else you want to talk about for the week ahead, or can we move on to our segments, mate? The love for the players.
Yeah, we'll move on, but I just want to ask you a question before. I'm going to try and do this every week. It's not a segment, but I'm just going to ask you a random question. What?
Right, okay.
Because I heard about it. I was hearing about this today. I can't remember what I was doing. I reckon I was getting a massage and they had the radio on in the background, and they were talking about jocks. Like, what jocks do you wear? Do you wear the square jocks? Do you wear the boxer jocks? Do you wear the triangle jocks? I was just curious.
That is a very curious question. Love this. We've just gone from a PG rated podcast to a M15 plus rated. I wear the boxer ones, I think. So the way I put it, the way I think is there's undies, right? So like undies, then there's
V,
like and then there's like briefs, right? So would it be briefs? And then there's the longer ones.
Yeah, the boxers.
I'm the one in the middle, so I'm the briefs.
Oh, you're the in-betweener.
What are you?
I'll wear your undies. I'll wear those. Oh, I hate the other ones, man. Really? I hate the other ones.
Are you talking game day? Are you talking every day?
No, every day. I'm talking game day too, but I'll wear the same.
Hang on. So game day, right? You don't wear. Do you wear jocks or do you wear Speedos or something game day?
I'll wear the Nike ones. They're like a different material. They're like a sporty material. But they're the same style.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't wear it, mate. I feel like I get. One of my good features since this is now a MA15 plus podcast, one of my features is I got a good bum. Just ask Kim. She thinks my bum is the best bit about me. And I can't wear jocks, mate, because I get like wedgie. So yeah, I just don't wear jocks.
I can't believe you just said that. That's funny as. That's the best thing we've ever heard on this potty from you.
Hey, you're asking about what undies I'm wearing, so I may as well say it. Like, and for what it's worth, I want to hear what undies Brado wears at the end. I can't wait to hear this. Yeah, we'll move on from the undie
Moving
talk
on.
and talk about the man love or the player love of the week. You've got us a bit rattled here, Joshy. Who do you want to give a bit of love to? Do you have one in mind, or do you want me to do it first?
No, I've got one in mind. I always write it down.
Give us yours.
Your segment. All right, mine is a Collingwood player.
Yep.
And he debuted on the weekend. It's Lockie Sullivan. I think he deserves a lot more credit because let me just go to his thing. He played 43% of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had the most score involvements on the ground. He had 8. The next best Collingwood player was 6, Mason Cox and Pendles.
Yep.
And then the rest were 5 or below. And he's gone out and played a massive role. Like the game turned when he came on the ground, I felt anyway. So in a debut game, that's very impressive. He kicked one of the best goals that a debutant's kicked in quite some time. You see where he actually ran from to kick that goal. He's ran the full ground and then kicked it. So I just wanted to give a bit of love to him and obviously his backstory and how long it's taken him to get to the level. And hats off to him because he's been a workhorse for such a long period of time and finally got his opportunity and showed us what he's capable of.
I love that, mate. I love it because he's obviously been a Footscray player for the last, 4 years? I think he's been at Footscray, but you might hear me talk about him a little bit later in the next segment. So I'm going to leave that. And my...
I've ruined it for you.
You've just ruined it for me, but that's all right. Still want to mention our Brookes Bloom of the week. We love Brookie. My guy is an ex-Collingwood player, now plays for Adelaide, and ripping fella, great human being. I got along with him really, really well when we played together. Mark Keane, who is a now defender for the Crows. Great story. He's obviously an Irish boy, came over here, I think as an 18 or 19-year-old, and he signed with us, played a couple games with us at Collingwood, but then he went back home because I think he wanted to be around his family and his partner and played, I think he played Gaelic again and obviously dominated because he's a very good Gaelic player, and then came back to obviously Australia and now plays for the Crows. And, mate, he has just gone from strength to strength. And you mentioned the showdown medal. Like, Saligo was the best player on the ground, in my opinion. He thoroughly deserved it. But I think Keane was probably the second best player on the ground. I think his role was incredible. Some of his one-on-ones were unreal. He was essentially matched up on Charlie Dixon, who is a big, brute, powerful, strong man. And obviously Keane definitely held his own. But I think he's really blossomed into a really important player for Adelaide and someone who's now really reliable, is that deepest defender who is essentially the last line of defense for him. And the amount of times you see him take a goal-saving mark or whatever it may be, it's just, it speaks volumes of him as a player and how much he's developed. So I just want to give a bit of love to Marky because he's a ripping bloke.
Good shout. He's going to be one that we're going to have to look out for this weekend. Onto our favourite segment now, the Brookes Bloom of the Week. And thanks always to Brooke for her support that she gives us. And we love working alongside her. You go first because we've obviously given away yours already.
Well, yeah, Sully's mine. And a quick 20, 30 seconds on him because I ramble on a bit. But the amount of hard work that he's put in just to get drafted, we seen that. I know you've seen that because you obviously would have seen him, working his ass off at Footscray. He was our VFL captain for a bit. Just missed out on getting drafted a couple of times, but he was so dominant as a VFL player and you could just see how much potential he had. And, when I first seen him, when I first got to the footy club, I was blown away that, he wasn't on an AFL list. I mean, I think he was there. Robbie McComb was playing in the VFL. There was players that were more than capable of being, able to go to the next level. And Robbie did, but Lockie didn't. And Lockie then came back last year and, mate, was the best player in the VFL, hands down. He was so bloody good as a player. And, when I found out he got that opportunity to get, trained on at Collingwood, my first thought straight away was like, he'll get a spot here because he works that hard. He runs that hard. He's very classy and he's just a great bloke and he's everything you want as a teammate. So to then see him debut and have the game that he had, as you said, mate, you went through the stats. I just thought it was remarkable and it's great to see. Hard work pays off. True inspiration to those guys out there who are still vying for a spot in the AFL who have missed out on drafts to just keep going because, yeah, mate, you see what happens when you can reap the rewards and he thoroughly deserves everything he's achieved and hopefully it now can blossom into a really, really good AFL career and he can be a great Collingwood player for a long time. But he's my bloom of the week.
Like it, mate. Like it a lot. My bloom of the week, it's actually Blooms because it's two people and it's the Lambros brothers. Have you heard about the Lambros brothers?
Mate, so I know you're going to talk, but I was driving to the game, right? And there was this whole crowd at where they ran. So it was in, do you know the area I'm talking about in St Kilda? It's like right where the beach meets like that.
Near the sea baths.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, I was driving and I was like, why is there so much traffic? And then literally, mate, 100 meters up the road, as I'm driving along, I see the Lambros brothers with the flag on running. And I was like, oh my God, there you go. So anyway, keep going, mate. I've seen it.
Yeah. So Lachlan and Stefan Lamble. So they, for those that don't know, they ran across Australia, finished in Melbourne. They wanted to do it in less than 100 days for charity. So cancer research. And they wanted to raise 100,000, I think, initially, and then they got that so quick. They were like, all right, let's make it 250, and they're currently just over 200. So if you want to donate or you've got a spare extra bit of cash, make sure you get on their website and hit them up. But they did it in 85 days, and I just wanted to give them a bit of a pump up because it's obviously a massive achievement and for a great cause too. So well done to those boys, and they're my bloom of the week.
I love it, mate. Just quickly, I think one of the boys put up like an Insta story of an X-ray that they must have taken of their foot. And, mate, I think they've got stress fractures galore in their feet. Yeah, mate. It's
really?
Yeah, that is just incredible what they've done. But I love it, mate. Brooke, bloom of the week. I thought it was really cool driving past them and actually seeing them. They were literally 100 meters from the finish line, and I was driving with Mick, and I was like, mate, that is incredible. But, I love it, mate. Bloom of the week. It's our favourite segment, and as you said, mate, we love Brooke. Keep thanking her for her continued support. I think that's it. Mate. I don't think there's anything else to talk about, is there?
Well, there is, because we forgot this last week, and I'm not going to do it again because we have our comment or our YouTube comment winners, and I forgot about it last week, so I'll give them a shout out. It's Matilda Brooks won it last week, and Bree Spinner for their comments on our YouTube channel. And we've gone through this week's comments, and I'm going to now announce the winners. I won't read out the answers because it's too long, but this one's Chantel Amos 3181. So this is a Bulldogs member, Adzi, so you'll be happy to... I'll just read it out, might as well. I still have big love for Dunks. I actually work up the road from Brighton Homes Arena and get to watch training on the odd occasion, but she's a Bulldogs member, remember.
That's cool.
And an adopted Lions cub at work, lol. We'll be at the game on Sunday night watching my boys first with a few drinks. Always love watching Ads play. What a gun. Have a great game on Sunday, boys. Let's go. So she's won one of them. And then the other one is Milana Lambeth. Ads and Dunks, listen to this. This is pretty good. Ads and Dunks bring joy to my day when they are on and off the field. Despite having the fame, you are still both making people in real life and enjoying watching both of you every week. I travel to Brisbane, Adelaide and Canberra to watch the Lions play and can't wait to watch you play the Gold Coast this week in the Q Clash. Dunks is my favourite player, and I've received a Swish video from you and have dreamed of meeting you for ages. And when I did, it was the best day of my life. I know you guys can do it and destroy Gold Coast and be the better Queensland team. Kick a goal and do your A celebration. Adam is my favourite player who doesn't play for Brisbane, and I'm going to watch Bulldogs Richmond next week as I live in Melbourne. I love you guys so much, and it would mean so much to receive the giveaway as a gift, as I've been a fan for a long time and loved you both when you played at the Bulldogs as well, and watch your YouTube channel and think you are the best duo. So, Milana, you've just won one of our prize packs. So there you go.
Couple of tears there. That's nice. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support.
So there you go. So there are our winners for this week. What's the question for this week, Adsy?
What undies does Josh wear?
Yeah, go with
That's
that.
my question.
Go with that.
What undies? Are they jocks? Are they briefs? Or are they boxes? Jocks, briefs, boxes. One more time. Jocks, briefs, boxes.
I actually did say what the exact ones that I wear on game day, so you could have a guess at that if you want.
Okay, there you go. That's the question. The exact undies or jocks or briefs or boxes. I'm not giving anything away. That Josh wears on game day. So give us your answer, please, and you'll receive a gift next week. Actually, I want to get one more thing before we finish. This time next week, we should know who is going to be in the East finals of the NBA and the West finals of the NBA. Give me your two.
Yes. East. Man, it's so hard because there's
Boston Cavs.
I feel like
there's Boston Cavs. Yep.
Boston. Yeah. Boston for me.
And Knicks and Pacers. Give me who's playing off next week in the Eastern Conference. So right now, Knicks are up 1-0. Boston are up 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston Knicks.
I'm going to agree with you.
They're playing off.
I think, yep. And the other one is Oklahoma v. the Thunder. OKC are up 1-0. And the Timberwolves v. the Nuggets who are up 2-0.
Yep. I would be very impressed. If OKC beat the Mavs, but I think that they will. So it'll be OKC, and I think Timberwolves will knock the Nuggets off. They just look too good. Mate,
I agree with you. Totally agree. Timberwolves, and, mate, my man crush has just grown and grown and grown more for Anthony Edwards. I genuinely think he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan in terms of how he plays. And just being a massive, obviously, Michael Jordan lover, as you know I am, and watching hours and hours and hours and hours of vision, mate, some of the similarities just in the ferocity and the way that he attacks the ring, the way that he shoots his jumpers, his turnaround J's, like, mate, it is, incredible. So he is playing unbelievable basketball at the moment. So I agree with you. I think Timberwolves, they just look way better than Denver at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Do you remember when I said that stuff about Michael Jordan, like Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan being his dad because he's never met his dad before? Have you seen that stuff yet?
No, I still haven't. I need to have a look. I still haven't.
You've got to have a look, mate. I've talked about this before. You've got to go and have a look.
Maybe it is. Maybe there is something there because, mate, every day that goes by, he's looking more and more like MJ in the way that he plays. It's just been incredible. And I can't wait to see how this NBA playoffs play out. And actually, we can't end it now because we need our man Brado to come in and tell us what we missed, Brado, and tell us what undies you wear.
Oh, g'day, lads. I was getting nervous here. Forgot about me. Just out here in the cold. Fitzroy Lions scored 516-0 against Elizabeth Eagles. Lions forward Josh Rosenthal kicked 29 goals. How's that? 29 goals.
I was close.
And that got me, Dunks, you kicked 3 for your most goals, which you said, but Ads has kicked 3 goals 7 times, and it's also his career high. So no one's got the 4 yet. But we'll jump over to your tips because things have evened up. Because, Dunks had a good weekend on the tips. No one got any medals. So it was Dixon and Tex, which neither of them got, Grundy and Toby Green, and then Dunks for the medal and Charlie Cameron. So no medals.
I was this close. Almost got you.
But Dunks was up by 2 tips this week, which he's now taken the lead in the tipping.
Oh, that kills me.
And you've put it all on the line with the draw this week.
I'm going the draw.
We'll see how that turns out. Carlton last year, after 13 rounds, were 4 wins, 8 losses, and a draw, and finished in 5th after losing only one more game for the year to have 13 wins, 9 losses, and a draw. So you got tons of time. You got plenty of time.
Yep, true.
It is the Dogs' last game at the G for the year, but you do play in Ballarat in round 24 against GWS, which is a wild way to round out the season.
It is.
One confirmation that we got was Dunks is going to get oil on the arms. And another confirmation we got is Ads has a good bum. That was a new one that we learnt.
Yes.
And I believe personally triangles suck, and I wear the briefs. I'm in ads camp. And
Good man.
It's not for the same reason. I don't have quite the bum. I'm working on it, but I don't have it yet. That's all I got for you.
Good man, Brado. Well done, mate.
Great. Thanks, Brado.
Finish us off, mate.
That's great. I just can't believe you said you got a good bum. But anyway, we'll finish it there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. As always, we appreciate all the support and, look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks, Azzy.
Thanks, mate. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brookes Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brookes Blooms' 3-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.